Hi, it's Paul Sackis News Broadcast. I'm speaking with Amy Tobin. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Good. How are you, Paul?
Okay, good. Lifestyle and party planning expert. All righty. And we're going to talk about actually Angus beef and beef up your holiday party planning extraordinaire. That's you, with tips that are sure to please. Okay, all righty. Well, let's talk about like making a. How do you make a roast? How do you know when the roast is good?
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. First of all, you see the Certified Angus Beef brand logo, and you know it's good. There are 10 strict standards that the beef has to pass to even be considered Certified Angus Beef. But you know, you as the consumer, when you go to the store, you'll recognize it by the little white flecks of marbling throughout the beef. What happens when the beef roasts is that marbling melts and provides just the most spectacular flavor and texture. And, you know, for the holidays, some people are going to be looking at a standing rib roast. That's the absolute champion of beef roast and the most expensive. Some people might choose the New York strip roast, or some people might choose a top sirloin roast, and that's affordable for every day. But it doesn't matter which of those you might choose for your holiday table. The way to do it, the method for each, is pretty much the same. And you need a little bit of special equipment, and that is a roasting pan, a roasting rack, and a meat thermometer. That's it. And for each of the roasts, whichever you choose, you do want to season it completely with salt and pepper on all sides. And then you throw it into a really hot oven. 500 degrees is where you want to start this roast, because that's what's going to give it that really well-browned crust. It's going to protect the roast, lock in the flavor, lock in the juices. And after about 10 or 15 minutes, you do drop the temperature. And a great way, a little rule of thumb to know how long to cook your roast is about 15 to 20 minutes per pound for medium rare. But you got to have that meat thermometer to know for sure.
Okay, and the meat thermometer, then there's indicators of what would be medium rare, and is all meat equal? Like, say, 400 degrees for
Well,
lamb.
for a roast, you're going to be looking at 140 degrees for rare, 145 for medium rare, and, you know, most of the current thermometers will tell you, you know, if you're cooking beef or pork or lamb, what their doneness is. But one thing that's important is that you do want to take it out a little bit before it's reached that degree of doneness that you're looking for, because all beef, all meat, really even holiday cookies, have carryover cooking time once they come out of the oven. So it's going to continue. The temperature is going to go up just a bit as it rests. And that's the other thing that's so important. Whenever you roast, you want to let the meat rest before you slice it, because that lets all of the juices settle back in through the beef and not come out on your cutting board when you roast it.
Now, do you put anything over it? Do you put like aluminum foil over a roast, or do you go straight on?
When it is resting, it's nice to put foil over it to keep it warm. But in the oven, no, you want that nice heat to come right up to the beef.
Uh-huh. And now, if you are using the thermometer, right, of which you suggest, between 140 and 145, there's not that much difference, is there? I mean,
no, there really isn't. I mean,
so
that's why
really
don't just rely fully on that 15 to 20 minutes per pound, because 10 minutes could change everything.
Right.
So, you definitely want to keep an eye. This is just sort of a guideline so that you don't early in the morning prepare a roast for late at night thinking it's going to take that long. It's kind of a guideline, but that's what's nice about the instant read thermometers that are out there today. Great gift for a foodie, by the way, is that, they tell you the temperature so quickly. You don't have to have the oven open for long. You can get a peek and know where it's going.
And how do you put, I know a thermometer, because I don't use one, so I'd like to know. But I wonder, I mean, if the meat is, I guess, all the same size, how deep do you have to put the thermometer into it to find out?
That's a really good question. It really is, and a question a lot of people have. What you do is you place the thermometer in the meat so the tip is in the center of the roast. Now, if there's a bone in the roast, you don't want it touching the bone or resting in fat. So you are looking to be in the meat itself. And when the meat registers to 5 to 10 degrees under what you're looking for, that's when you get it out of the oven.
Okay, all righty. And you the thermometer, it's in and out, right? You don't leave the thermometer in there.
No, also a great question. Now, some ovens these days are coming with built-in probes, temperature probes that you can leave in and keep track without ever opening the oven. But for most of us, we don't have that in our stoves and ovens, and so yeah, you just test it quickly with the thermometer and remove it after you've taken a look.
Wouldn't it be interesting? I don't know if this could even be. Actually, my grandfather was a butcher, and
oh wow!
But you know how like turkeys have a oven roasters, or they have a thermometer, right, that pops out when it is done. Could they do the same principle with a beef? You know what I mean?
You know, I don't know, but I will tell you that even with my turkey, I don't trust the pop-up, and I definitely take the temp of the turkey as well.
Okay.
I really do.
No, I'm sure you do.
But I don't know. They might be able to. You should invent that. Your grandfather would be very proud.
Yes, he would, I imagine. And what does certified Angus beef mean? In other words, is that an American thing, or is it worldwide, or what is it?
It is a worldwide organization, and the Certified Angus Beef brand is owned by the American Angus Association, and there are 33,000 rancher members, and they are people across the country, and it's really got all of these fabulous standards that the beef has got to reach to even be sold as Certified Angus Beef brand. And it's truly, truly a fantastic product.
Well, I think, standards, I mean, my grandfather was a kosher butcher, so, there were standards in selling kosher meat that, many people were interested in, cleanliness and all kinds of different things. So it's very interesting. You say here, this is a decorator kind of thing. All right, so we'll get off the meat for a second. I like this concept of not overemphasizing the red and green. You have a thought here of changing the color a little bit in the...
Absolutely. And, first of all, red and green is clearly a classic of the season, and it's easy to make it just a little more modern by twisting the color wheel to one side and going with like an apple green and a fuchsia. And all of a sudden your table looks much more modern, and I hate to use the word fresh, but I will. Or you can sort of twist it the other way and go with a green, a hunter green, and a burgundy for something very classic. Or you know what? I've got to tell you, a color that I'm using a lot this year in my house is chocolate brown and blue. I think that the important thing is that you're, sort of representing, you want something a little bit sparkly, perhaps, a little bit whimsical, but you can bring this theme to your front door with a wreath or with ornaments. You can bring it to your table by putting greenery down the center of the table and adding ornaments in your color scheme down the center. I love to put votives throughout the greenery to sort of give a twinkly holiday glow. I like to put a little tiny favor box at each person's place that we can wrap in our holiday colors with ribbons, and you can put in foil-wrapped chocolates or nuts or a small gift, and everybody's got a sweet memento of the meal. I think it's a really nice, it's easy to do, it creates big impact, it makes your family and friends feel great.
And Amy is a do-gooder. Actually, I'm doing an interview in the next hour with some of the people from the Holiday House, where they created a beautiful mansion here, a lot of different interior designers, and all the money's going to Susan G. Komen Foundation, similar to
I'm so glad to hear that.
Amy's Table, Food for Family and Friends, published in 2007, which benefits Susan G. Komen as well. So thank you for doing that. That's good news. So what's good, and you have a website, amystable.com, and we have a certifiedangusbeef.com we'll send people over to. And so what's good news for you, Amy?
Well, I'll tell you, just having all of my family and friends to celebrate the holiday with, that's what it's all about, really.
Fantastic. Okay, happy and healthy holiday for you and your family. Thanks for sharing.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.